Welcome to Tamil Travels. In this video, we're going to talk about the latest travel advice for traveling between London and India. So we have Vande Bharat mission, which is organized by Indian government, where Air India is flying, and under Air Bubble agreement arrangement, we have British Airways, Vistara, and Virgin who are flying to India. So according to Indian government latest SOP, so passengers traveling from United Kingdom to India, as mandatorily they need to show COVID negative result before boarding, and this COVID negative result has to be taken within 72 hours before departure. And along with the COVID negative result, all the passengers need to submit their information on Air Suvidha self-declaration form. The link can be found in New Delhi Airport website, and I have given in the description box below as well. So without the COVID negative test result, you won't be allowed to board the aircraft. In this video, we are going to see the travel advice for Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, and major cities within Tamil Nadu. So let's start with Mumbai. So airlines, Air India, British Airways, and Virgin. So all these airlines are flying direct to Mumbai. So let's see the arrival process for passengers from London Heathrow to Mumbai. So all the passengers, those who are arriving into Mumbai airport, and if their destination is within Maharashtra, so the Maharashtra government have put a rule that all the passengers traveling into Mumbai from London Heathrow or from London, they will be taken to institutional quarantine for first 7 days. So all those passengers whose destination is Maharashtra and who are landing at Mumbai airport, they will be taken to hotels for first 7 days, and maybe further follow-up tests will be taken, and once the test result comes negative, they will be allowed to go home, and they have to observe further monitoring or self-home quarantine at their home address. And for those passengers who have connecting flight to different other states, like for example, a passenger traveling from London Heathrow to Tamil Nadu via Bombay or Bangalore, or maybe Kerala or Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, or anywhere in North India or Eastern India. So all those passengers or transit passengers, they will be allowed to exit the airport. So on arrival from London Heathrow, they will be taken a COVID test at Mumbai airport, and once the COVID test comes negative, they will be allowed to exit the airport to to take their connecting flight. So one quick point to note here, recent travelers have experienced this. So those passengers who had negative test result, which was taken at Heathrow or London, and they reached Bombay within 72 hours of their test result. So those passengers were allowed to exit the airport without any test at Mumbai airport. So now let's look at Delhi. So to travel to Delhi from London Heathrow, so we have Air India, British Airways, Air Vistara, and Virgin. So all these airlines, so they fly direct to Delhi. So boarding process is same for all the destinations. So a COVID test is mandatory. Air Suvidha self-reporting form needs to be filled. So arrival process at Delhi. So all the passengers arriving from United Kingdom, so they will be subjected to further COVID test at Delhi airport. So all the passengers, irrespective of any category, there is no exemption category at this point of time because of the new mutant strain. So all the passengers will be sent for further COVID test. So once the COVID test is taken, and the passengers have to wait at the airport for the results to come. And once the test result comes negative, all those passengers who are traveling to other states, so they will be allowed to exit the airport to take their connecting flight. And those passengers who are traveling to Delhi, so they will be subjected to institutional quarantine for 7 days first, and then once a 7-day period is done, probably they will be subjected to further COVID test. And once those result comes negative, they will be allowed to go home and continue their home quarantine period at their home address. So let's take Bangalore. So to travel to Bangalore from London Heathrow, we have Air India and British Airways. Both the airlines are flying direct to Bangalore. So same boarding process, COVID test is mandatory, and Air Suvidha self-declaration form. And in when passengers are arriving at Bangalore, so COVID test will be taken for all the passengers who are arriving from London Heathrow, and the passengers will be asked to wait in an area when the test results are being awaited. So when the test result comes negative, all the passengers will be allowed to exit the airport. So those passengers who are traveling to Karnataka, to Bangalore or any place within Karnataka, so they will be allowed for home quarantine. And any passengers who have a transit connecting flight, they will be allowed to take their connecting flight from Bangalore. So on arrival at Bangalore, all the passengers will go through COVID testing, and once the test result comes negative, everybody is allowed to exit the airport and carry on to their destination. And according to recent travelers, the COVID test result takes about 4 to 6 hours at Bangalore. So you can plan your connecting flight timings accordingly. So now let's look at Chennai. So according to the Indian government new SOP, Chennai was not included in their list of destination which was allowed to accept flights from United Kingdom. So for that reason, we don't have any direct flights to Chennai. So we need to take a connecting flight from either Bangalore, Bombay, or Delhi or Hyderabad. So the passengers can either take a flight, Air India, Air Vistara, or British Airways or Virgin to any of the above listed cities, Bangalore, Delhi, Bombay, or Hyderabad. And on reaching Bangalore or Bombay or Delhi or even Hyderabad, so they need to follow the arrival process in those respective arrival airport. So if it is Bangalore or Delhi or Bombay, so if on arrival you might be subjected to COVID test, and once COVID test is taken, you need to wait for the results to come, and once the result comes as negative, you will be then allowed to exit the airport to catch your connecting flight to Chennai. So this is the latest information which we received. It was from passengers who flew from London Heathrow to Chennai via Bombay or Bangalore on 19th of January. So the passengers have cleared all the formalities when they reached Bangalore, Bombay, and they took the connecting flight to Chennai. So on arrival at Chennai, the Chennai Corporation officials have the list of passengers who arrive from UK. We don't know how they get this information, because according to Air Suvidha, your information will be shared between or amongst all the state governments. So once the corporation officials know that you are flying from United Kingdom, so a further COVID test will be taken at Chennai airport. So once the COVID test, a swab is taken at the Chennai airport, what the officials are doing is they will send you to Feathers Hotel in Chennai. So you will be taken to the Feathers Hotel, you will be given a room, and you will be advised to stay in the hotel until the test results come. So the test results can come anytime between 6 hours to 8 hours, and once the test result comes negative, you will be allowed to exit the Feathers Hotel, and you can continue with the further journey towards to your home or to your home destination, and you need to further monitor or do home quarantine for 14 days. So if you want to avoid this particular scenario at Chennai airport, if you think it's too much of a hassle, the best way to travel to Chennai at the moment is fly to Bangalore, where either way of Air India or British Airways. And on arrival at Bangalore, you finish all the formalities, and then you can take a taxi to Chennai. By this way, you can avoid the hotel stay for a night, so that you don't need to go through further tests and things like that. And finally, we are going to discuss about traveling to other major cities. So I've given just example of three: Madurai, Coimbatore, and Trichy. All these are located within Tamil Nadu. This can be applied to any major cities which has connecting flights from Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi, or Hyderabad. So any major cities, if you're planning to travel there, so you can catch a flight from London Heathrow to Bangalore, or Bombay to Delhi, or Delhi, and then you finish all the formalities at the airport. And once you come out of the airport, so you can take the connecting flight to the major cities, in this case Madurai, Coimbatore, or Trichy. So I think Madurai has connecting flight from Bangalore, Bombay, and Delhi. I think you have direct flight from all these airports. You can as soon as you come out of the airport, you can catch your connecting flight and go to your city. Same case for Coimbatore, Trichy, and this can be applied to any major airport within India. So if you have a connecting flight from these airports, you can plan that way. So you will be allowed to exit the airport if you have a connecting ticket, connecting flight on negative test result. So, and once you reach home, you just do home quarantine or whatever the state government says. I hope this information will be helpful for whoever who are planning to travel to India from United Kingdom at this point of time. And if you need any more information, please don't hesitate to contact me or leave a comment in the video, and I'll try to answer it. And I'll make sure I'll monitor the situation, and anything change from now, and then I'll update another video. So thank you all.